What's up, my beautiful butterflies? It's the Awakened Butterfly, and I'm back with another video. If this is your first time coming across my channel, please stay for the entire video, and if you like the content, please hit the like and subscribe button. To all of my day ones, welcome back. I missed you guys so much. Have a very special video for you guys today. As you can see by the title, we're going to be talking about what exactly a Machiavellian is, who he is, and how this inspires the handler, and also the narcissist, which in some ways, and the gang stalker. So in some ways, these are all really handlers, just different titles. They just have different ways of trying to control you. So I wrote a lot of things down because I did a lot of research and I didn't want to miss anything. So we have a lot to cover today. So if you guys need to go and get a snack or something to drink, please do so, because I have a lot I would like to share with you guys today. So the first thing we're going to get into is who Niccolo Machavellian is. And he was a passionate political scientist from the Renaissance era. He was born in 1963 in Florence, Italy, and he was inspired by his dad, who was a very good attorney at that time. He was a famous attorney, so he was inspired by his dad to also get into, politics, and he was very passionate about it. Around 1513, he was expelled from a political service, and this gave him a spark of genius, which inspired him to write The Prince. And The Prince is an outline that Niccolo created, which expressed how he felt an effective leader should be. His image of an effective leader, to how they think, act, and all of those things, because that's what he was. So do you know how you would look at a leader, a president, a governor, just anyone, even when you were in school, when they had the class president and all of those things, you looked up to these people because you felt like they had what it took to bring a change to the community or environment. And although that is true, sometimes, unfortunately, these positions are abused. Some people abuse their authority and they use it to harm and mistreat other people in order to gain higher power. Like I was saying, you would expect these people to be honest and noble. Well, in Machiavelli's outline, he explained that he felt an effective leader should be the opposite of all of those things. Timely, strategic, in ways of plotting and scheming, a lack of immorality, just a lack of anguish, just he felt that whatever you had to do, whether if it was to do something, grimy in order to, accomplish something, he felt that it should be justified. He also felt that an effective leader should be ready to portray these acts. Like, you should be prepared. You should plot things on people ahead of time, in order to get what you want from them, or in order to, accomplish something. Just always stay a few steps ahead. He saw everyone as competition, whether it was family, friends. He didn't care. Anyone, even, the people outside of the people he was going to war with. He felt like everyone was his competition. So he always saw a way to get over on the next individual, whether it was a loved one or not. He also felt as a ruler that it was best to be feared than loved. He felt that you couldn't be both, and if you would be one, you should be feared, especially as a leader. He felt that that would help you get more of what you want from someone if they fear you. So that was his belief method in his outline, the Prince. He also felt that a leader should never believe in blessings or luck or anything like that. He felt like their destiny of success was determined on how well they plotted and schemed and manipulated the next person, basically. He feels that you determine your own fortune, your own charisma, your own. He felt like, praying or, anything like that was irrelevant and unnecessary. So, guys, I wrote down a couple of things that I felt that, with the Machiavelli effect. Well, once he wrote this book, people were starting to be considered, whoever took on this type of belief, they were to be considered as a Machiavellian. And these were mainly people who had high power, presidents, governors, just people of a high status, leaders, any type of leaders. A lot of people took on to this way of thinking. So that would explain a lot of things, that's going on in the world today. In relation to gang stalking with this, guys, to me, first it starts with the handler. And the reason why I say that, because I'm going to read a couple of quotes, and these are his actual words that he put inside of his outline. And I'm going to explain what I feel is in relation to the handler with the quotes. Okay, the first one is, in order to estimate the opponent's intelligence, you must look at the men he has around him. And to me, in relation to the handler, I feel that the handler always studies their victims before they attack, because I feel that the gang stalker is a victim as well, and they're also being manipulated. So before it all starts with them picking the gang stalker, before you're even harassed, it starts with them picking the harasser. And when they seek these people, they're looking for the weakest link, the person with the low self-esteem, the person that's addicted to drugs, the person that's maybe going through some financial problems, just all types of things. Whatever, they find the weakest, what they feel is the weakest link, and they manipulate them and use them to their advantage. And I feel like that quote from Machiavelli really relates to a lot of the actions of the handler in picking out their harasser. The second quote says, it is not the title that honors men, but the man that honors the title. Okay, how I take this in relation to the handler is, back on one of my other videos when I was explaining how when it comes to these people, whether it be your family members or not, that are trying to get in a higher status in an organization or group, they will do anything. They don't care. They will do anything to reach that status and to gain that title. So him saying that it is not the title that honors the man, but the man that honors the title, really, relates to how these people go out of their way to harm their family and friends, and underhanded things to gain a certain title from these people. So yeah. Let's see. The next quote says, "Whoever believes that great achievement and new benefits have men forget their old injuries is mistaken." Now guys, this one right here, this one is like one of the most serious ones to me, because to me, you know, when I think about this quote, I think a lot about relationships and narcissism and, you know, domestic violence. I think about a lot of those things, and you know, a lot of the time, based on how people treat you, has a lot to do with their childhood and what they went through. And you know, him saying that if you think just because a person, you know, has reached a new level of advancement in life, if you think that they've forgotten their old injuries, you're sadly mistaken. So, you know, this is also to let people know that are trying to reach these higher levels in these organizations, that no matter what title they give you or how many perks you get from joining this, you will never this is not a healing process. This is not something that will help you heal. So for surely your old injuries will, you know, always be there with you if you're trying to drown them out with money, power, and success, you know? So, you know, this is something that I feel like can hurt. This quote right here can hurt the handler or help the handler, depending on how they take it, you know? Also, this quote made me think about trauma bonding, the dark empath embodiment, as to where I was saying in my other video, if you leave a relationship and that person doesn't have that closure that they want, you know, no matter, and that means like even over the years, if they become successful or whatever, and they still haven't let go of those old injuries, you know, it could develop a dark energy that follows the person that they had this situation with. So that really made me think about that as well, guys. He also made a quote saying, "Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot." And this made me think about time strategies, fake emotions, and manipulation. As you know, as to always trying to stay, you know, 3 steps ahead of your enemy. When, you know, and with him, he was a prince, so he did, you know, conduct wars and everything. So it really makes sense to as to why he put this in his outline. Years later, after he wrote The Prince, he also wrote the famous Art of War. And this explains how the roles in citizens use the U.S. troops to their advantage. I really don't. I don't know exactly in my research and readings. It never really explained the things that were conducted as to why they felt that way. But this is what this is stated by scholars. So this is what they felt the Art of War represented. Let's get back to the handler, okay? The handler uses, and in relation to this statement that I just made about the citizens using the U.S. troops to their advantage, the handler also uses gang stalkers to their advantage, you know? Pretending to care about them, making them feel like they're on a team, you know, when all actuality, they're a victim, harassing a targeted individual, which also makes them targeted as well. Because let's say, for instance, there's a targeted individual out there, and they're chosen. They have a very special gift, but they're vibrating so low, and they haven't awakened yet, right? The handler can manipulate the targeted individual to harass another awakened targeted individual, and unfortunately, that's what happens. But all these things are meant in order to make you strong. You have to go through these experiences so you can identify these things when they happen. So it's not a bad thing. The pain that you endure is bad, but on the light at the end of the tunnel, after everything is said and done, it makes you stronger, and you really appreciate what you went through due to the knowledge and strength that you gained from it. So don't feel bad out there, guys. I constantly have to pray, for strength myself, that I don't think about my past and let anyone else make me feel bad about my past or make me drift off, because no one's perfect. Everyone's went through things. And honestly, I feel like people are more criticized more than anything due to what they don't have, money, power, a certain type of status or title. And that's not important. That is not important. The best title to have is one to being a warrior for God. A spiritual warrior for God. That's the best title to have these days. The term a Machiavellian was, like I said, it was developed from the famous outline created by Niccolo Machavelli. But Machiavellianism, it has become something like narcissism. It's been put in a category as a form of mind manipulation. This is pretty much a Machiavellian is a leader who encourages people to do certain things in order to suit their own needs. I mean, that's manipulation and persuasion are their main tactics that they use. A lot of the characteristics that the Machiavellian has, they start to become very untrustworthy and cynical to the people that have become aware of their actions and why they're doing it. They see the world and others as a game and as a competition. In their eyes, it's only a winner and a loser. There's not a friend. There's not a mother. There's not a father. There's not a sister, brother, cousin, uncle, aunt, etc. They see everyone as competition. Everything is a game. They see you as more as a threat than a person of value to them. So as you're trying to develop a regular relationship, loving relationship with this person, they're sitting back thinking about how they can outshine you on something, or how they can make more money than you before the year is out, or how they can, everything's a competition. And you will start to see that once you see how they treat you. You're like, where did this come from? We're supposed to be close, but you're treating me like I'm someone that you're in competition with. And in their mind, you are someone that they're in competition with, because their aim is to be a successful, powerful leader. That's all they think about. And they don't want anything to stand in the way. And guys, I just want to say that this is not a put down to Niccolo Machavelli himself. I honor, for his talent in writings. I'm not putting him down or anything like that. I'm using his way of thinking in relation to how a lot of leaders think today, because they actually adapted to his method of what he felt like an effective leader should be. So Yeah. These people are habitual liars. A Machiavellian that's what they do. They feel like not telling the truth is okay as long as it's justified by something that they're trying to do. Well, hey, I only did that because I'm trying to do this. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to do this. You understand, right? You know, that's how they think. The type of lies that they tell are the type that will make you look bad and make them look good. Because you have to realize they're trying to be a leader. They want to be looked at a certain way. So their image is everything. And they don't care about ruining yours in order to make theirs look good. Another quote by Niccolo Machavellis says, "If indeed I do tell the truth, I hide it behind so many lies that it is hard to find." And just sit back, guys. Just think for 1 second about a powerful leader, someone that has authority. This does not have to be someone famous, okay? This could be a family member, your boss at work. You know, anyone that has some type of power and authority, or feel like they have some type of power and authority over you. This could be someone controlling in a relationship. It doesn't matter if it can just be a Machiavellian mentality. That's how they think. Power, money, and high status. That's it. They would be the ones that if someone, you know, if anything happened with someone, Lord forbid, in the family, they would be the one wanting to hurry and sit back and discuss the inheritance. You know, what am I getting out of this? They're those type of people. They will do anything to achieve their goals. If they have to step on someone else's toes, lie, scheme, pretend, manipulate, they will do just that. In a relationship, they will use flattery as a tool. You know, get you all, you know, buttered up or whatnot, have you on cloud nine, feeling like everything that they're saying is true, but in all while, they're doing this to get something out of you. And once that goal is accomplished, you start to see a whole nother side. You know, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's crazy. These people are highly strategic, guys. Like, if you cannot sleep on these people, you cannot sleep on a Machiavellian. Okay, they always plan 10 steps ahead. So while you're thinking this idea that they're coming up with out of their head to you was just something random, that a kind gesture, they've already thought about this weeks ago and thought about why they're doing it. They have a motive for why they're even doing it. But in your mind, you think it's just a random kind gesture. They like to stay hidden behind the scenes, you know, so they can plot. They usually don't come back around or make a suggestion about something until it's a part of their next scheme. They do sit back and watch the outcome of things. Like, let's say, for instance, if someone orchestrated something and they're going behind everyone's back orchestrating this stuff, and no one knows that they're doing it, and everyone's sitting around in confusion, and this person's just sit back watching it all unfold. In relationships, this does not have to be in romantic relationship. This can be in any relationship you have with someone. Love bombing. And I want you guys to know the difference between someone giving you a compliment and them over complimenting you, or someone giving you affection and they're being overly affectionate. This is love bombing. And sometimes, you know the level of this person. You know how much affection they normally show you, and if these people are being, and how many, how they normally compliment you. But if they just come around one day and they're just like, you know, overly, you know, just doing too much with it, then you'll know that, you know, these people want something. And then again, once they get what they want, then they go back to normal. Control. This is all to control, like any leader would want to do. That's why they want to lead, so they can guide and control. Doesn't mean that they're always going to guide you in the right direction, depending on what type of leader they are. If they're Machiavellian, then 9 times out of 10, whatever they're doing is to benefit them only. You won't get any benefit out of it. How do you deal with a Machiavellian is the question. I know everyone's like, okay, you told me everything about it. How do you deal with these people? You know, they're very smart. They're highly strategic. They're always 3 steps ahead. They're love bombing. They're manipulative. Like, how am I going to recognize these people? Well, I'm going to tell you. The first thing with dealing with these people is to recognize and identify their traits. Because, you know, once you're around these people for so long, your intuition is going to kick in. You're going to start picking up on it. Sometimes it takes some people longer than others to pick up on it, depending on, you know, let's be honest, these people, you know, people that do adapt these type of personalities, they're pretty convincing. You know, if you especially, you know, if you love them and you have a relationship with them, whether it's your family, you know, your partner, your friends, your spouse, your boss, your colleagues, you know, after being around people for so long, you develop a relationship with them, and you start to build a trust, and with the trust, you're going to believe them when they say something. So, you know, a lot of people play on that, and a lot of people know how to do it. So, like I said, depending on who you're dealing with. But once you recognize the personality, you know, it's not like using their tactics against them, but it's like the same way they sit back and study, you have to do it. You have to sit back and study their pattern, study their behavior. If you feel something in here is not right, then 9 times out of 10 it's not. Study the behavior, study the pattern, identify it. Once you do that, you will be able to understand their personality and how they view the world. Once you understand how they view the world, then you will know how to act in accordingly. You know? Let's see. The tactics that they're using, that comes with identifying their personality. You will be able to match the tactics to the forms of manipulation that they're using. Like, oh, okay, I see why they're doing that, because they want this today, or I know why they're doing it. You're going to eventually pick up on it, you know. A fun fact. Well, before I get into this fun fact, I also want to let you guys know that you know what's real and what's not. You know real love. And the best way to identify these people is the famous saying that we all know: actions speak louder than words. Okay? If these people's words are not matching up with their actions, and guess what? Their words are not going to match up with their actions. If they're just telling you what you want to hear and doing certain little things just to get what they want, you will eventually say, okay, this person asked me for this, and they promised later on we will go out to dinner. Okay, they stood me up. Okay. 2 weeks later, it happens again. You know, eventually you're going to be like, every time they're coming around, they're asking me for something, I'm giving it to them. Not that I'm looking for something in return, but they're trying to return a nice gesture, saying we're going to go out to dinner or something, you know, hang out, but they never show up. Oh, they must have just really wanted to come around to get what they wanted. You know, eventually you will pick up on the pattern, because their actions are not meeting up with their words. In the Art of War, Niccolo Machiavelli came up with the 7-day theory of faking his death in order to throw off his enemies, and then that's when he came back and pursued war on them. The fun fact is that, of course, you know the famous rapper Tupac Shakur. He also went by the name Machiavelli from his album, and a lot of people say, you know, allegedly that he faked his death. I don't know for sure. I'm not saying that I know, but I'm just saying that his album in relation to Machiavelli, the 7-day theory, in relation to Niccolo Machiavelli's The Art of War 7-day theory. The Don Illuminati 7-day theory is where he faked his death, and on the Hail Mary video, it's like he was coming back in spirit to get revenge on, I guess, his enemies or whatever. But it was just like inspired. The art in which Tupac expressed himself was inspired by the famous Niccolo Machiavelli himself. And guys, I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know that always know a person's motive. And I'm not saying walk around paranoid and just looking at people, everyone funny and or whatnot, but protect your energy. Always be cautious of who you let into your life, because you never know their motive or what they're trying to do. We have to protect ourselves, especially as chosen ones in this trying times. We are God's anointed, and we're always constantly under attack for those reasons. So I want everyone to be careful out there. You're most certainly protected, but just be careful who you give your energy to, because they can't get in unless you let them in. So just make sure before you let new people into your life that after you meet them, you pray about it and you ask God to give you signs of, if these people are there because they really want to form a good relationship with you, or it's another reason. Ask God to reveal. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video, guys. Don't forget to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. And until the next video, peace and love.